Now, we kind of knew Tucker was going to come in a week ago, but we didn't tease that too much because we didn't know what was going to happen here. So, anyway, good to see you, Coach.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
And haven't been on in a little while.
It's been a while, yeah.
You've won a lot of games since I talked to you last.
We have won a lot of games. Yes, it's been a great time, and it's a fun time to be a Pioneer, and the kids are playing exceptionally well. We've got a ton of talent, bunch of great coaches, and we're having a lot of fun.
Well, I've been here since '92. John's been here on and off for a long time too. I can't remember more buzz, because it's hard for the high school sometimes to compete in a college town with the buzz around the community, not within your own world, but you got the buzz of the whole town right now. That's kind of nice, isn't it?
Yeah, that's really neat. I mean, and we experienced some of this last year, and I think last year it was more of a surprise to a lot of people in town, but it is pretty neat, man. You go to Walmart and you go to the gas station, and everybody's saying, "Hey, good luck," pulling for you. We'll be there, all that kind of stuff, and it's exciting. I know the kids are fired up for sure.
I heard you on some of the interview you had with Casey yesterday. Yeah. Are you getting tired of answering questions by now?
No, not at all. Not at all. It is so much fun, and I've said this a few times to different people. When I was younger, and people would ask me what I do, and I tell them I coach, and people would all, they'd say, well, that sounds like fun, and it really used to frustrate me,
when they said it sounded like fun.
When they said it sounded like fun, because I was, this is hard work, but with a few more years under my belt, I think I'm starting to get it, it is fun, and it's a lot of work, but we really do enjoy it.
That's great to hear that it's fun, because enjoying the ride in anything is hard sometimes because there's pressure with it too, isn't there?
Yeah. There's a ton of pressure, and really, I think probably most of us that choose this profession, that pressure, we really kind of enjoy that. We kind of thrive on that, and most of us that coach, we're not the type of kid that was really nervous as a player and things like that. I mean, we really like that feeling that you kind of get in your gut, that a lot of people call butterflies. We really kind of thrive on that feeling.
It looks like you have something to chime in here.
No, I was going to say, I was going to ask, with this run you've had 2 years in a row, this year, compare this year to last year in either how you're different or how the team's different, or what are the differences? I
think just probably the level of expectation. Going into last season, we all knew in our locker room and our offices that we had a chance to be really good. But we had been so long. I mean, 1969 or 69 since the last state championship, and it really just wasn't something that was in the forefront of the kids' thought processes. I mean, we were talking about winning playoff games, and all that kind of thing. But we really did feel like there was a chance that we could be really, really good. This year, I think we knew we could be really, really good. So, the mindset, I think, was just a little bit different this year. Last year, as we won games, and we got in that place where we were 10-0, and 11-0, and 12-0. I mean, there was just so much excitement within the locker room about what we were accomplishing. Maybe we lost sight a little bit of the fact that there is a game going to be played in the state championship, and I think we were. Not that we didn't want to win, but I told Casey yesterday on the radio. We were so excited after winning the state semifinal game last year. We didn't want to leave the field, and they kind of had to run us off the field, because we were so busy celebrating. And I just compare that to this year when we win the state semifinal game, and there was really no extra celebration or excitement than there was any other week, and I think it just has to do with the mindset of the kids that they really never spent much time probably thinking about a goal of getting back there. It's really about winning the game this time.
You mentioned butterflies before. This is just my guess, because and this is a completely different business, but I get butterflies beforehand while I'm preparing, and then when it's game time, you're ready and you know it, right?
Yeah.
When do you have any apprehensions or nerves?
I think probably the most time that I have nerves is like that last hour, honestly, before the game. I mean, we go out and warm up about an hour ahead of time, and then when we come inside, you've got 30 minutes that we're just we've already warmed up, and now we're just waiting for the game to start. There's almost always some pregame activities that are going on. You've got that 30 minutes that it just seems like forever.
And you've already done your work.
You've already done your work, yeah, and you're just ready to go. You know, you want the anticipation of getting the kickoff and get going.
This is unique in a way with facing Bixby, and the fact that everybody's talked about this since the second game of the year almost, or maybe even before that. Only thing I can recall in Jinx Union battles, maybe, where earlier on they say, well, they'll meet in the state championship. But other than that, usually you don't know who's going to be there. Yeah. But it seemed predetermined, even though it wasn't, because winning is hard, isn't it?
Winning is hard. It really is, and it's hard to win when you're not the better team. It's hard to win sometimes when you're expected to win every game. You know, just I've been so proud of the team this year for the way that they've continued to prepare each week. You know, regardless of what they were hearing around town and what they were hearing at home, and even what they saw in the newspapers and read about the other teams. I mean, we really didn't have very many games where anybody was giving the other team a chance to win. And I think it was about 6 weeks ago that the Tulsa World put an article out, a head-to-head comparison of Stillwater and Bixby, and
they mirror each other a lot.
Yeah, I really do. I mean, statistically, we're really, really similar, and we do a lot of similar things on offense, and defensively, I don't think we could be more different, but getting just about the same results.
How have they changed since last year when you met them?
You know, they last year they had a strong, kind of powerful run game, and they threw the ball a lot, but they had a wildcat package that's a household term anymore, and they
everybody uses it, but the University of Kansas.
right. That's just what they do, right? So they had a real strong, powerful run game that they were able to use, and this year it's a lot more about speed with them, rushing to the perimeter, throwing the ball to the perimeter, and then throwing it over your head. If you're doing a very good job up there on the perimeter, then they'll try to throw it over your head. And I think it's going to be a really interesting game. And but I don't expect I don't expect a shootout. I mean, a lot of people are saying it's going to be some 49-48, and I really don't think that's going to happen. I think it'll be a lot lower scoring than what people imagine.
And you've had 2 weeks to wait, which is a long time, but you've had even longer. When we talked about it, was kind of anticipated this was going to be the matchup. When did you start watching film on Bixby?
I think they played Mansfield. I can't remember if it was week 0 or week 1. And
late August.
Yeah, late August. We got that video, so we sneaked that in, and throughout the course of the year, we'd get somebody'd send us a video, and we'd take a look at it and start not really working, but just kind of planting seeds. So it's been a while we've been looking at it. Now the kids we barely even mentioned Bixby until it was time to play them.
Well, almost superstition falls in a way, right? Because people are in the play. Well, don't talk about that. But then you look at the scores, and I can't remember seeing playoff scores like we've seen this year.
Yeah, no, I can't either. I mean, it's been a wild season in terms of scores, but that looking ahead thing, I thought it was some great advice from Coach Gundy. He sent me a quote, and it was probably about week 3 or 4 of the football season, and just sent me a quote, and the gist of it was that it was about looking back in the past, and paying attention to the things that have got you to where you are, and glancing ahead at the future, right, and to see where you're going. But then you've got to bring your focus to the present, and do the work that's right in front of you right now, to help you get where you're going in the future. And
was that a Nick Saban quote?
It really was. It was a Nick Saban quote that Coach Gundy sent me. I thought that was pretty neat.
Talking about Nick Saban, I can remember him, and I don't think you're going to be like this. But after winning a national championship in the interview, they asked what he was going to do, and he said, recruit. So I know you're not going to answer that.
That would be awesome. That would be great.
But the first thing he was thinking about was, I can't worry about this. It's done. I got to worry about tomorrow. Yeah. Hopefully you're able to savor these moments.
Yeah, I think it's important, and I had some other great advice from my pastor back when I was in Springdale, Arkansas, and he told us to remember to celebrate the victories, even the small victories. That you've got to take time to celebrate those things. So you try to do both. Glance ahead, look back, and then focus where you are.
John's a huge Astros fan, so when you're watching the World Series, it's stressful, but okay, these are magical moments. Enjoy them. Yeah. You're enjoying this, right?
Yeah, we're trying. We really are, and the thing, I think it's easier probably to enjoy because we're surrounded by 16, 17-year-old kids, and they, you talk about living in the present, right? Those guys live in the present for sure. So that makes it easier for us, and just makes our jobs really enjoyable.
Okay, Coach, we had a call. We had Mark Moore on yesterday morning, and we got a call about tickets.
Yeah.
I don't want to hit you up for tickets right now, but the stadium holds 10,000, I think.
Right.
That place is going to be pretty packed.
I think so.
How do we get tickets?
Yeah, so you can buy tickets online. There's multiple places to go, but I'm going to push everybody to stillwaterfootball.com.
Okay.
And right on the main page, you have to click a button that says enter, into the site, and then right on the main page, kind of upper left on the page, you'll see a place that says buy playoff tickets, and
are these reserved seats?
They're not
Okay.
reserved seats. So, but the way I understand it is they're not going to stop. They're not going to stop selling tickets at 10,000.
Okay.
They're going to keep selling tickets. They've got seating, extra seating that's not not even not numbered, and it may even be some standing room only.
They have like a hill or anything like that.
They do. They've got like a hill on I think it's the south side where people can bring blankets and lawn chairs and things like that. The interesting thing about that, if you're not a veteran to that stadium, you probably wouldn't go prepared for that. But they're thinking they're going to be able to put a lot more than 10,000 in there.
I've never been there. I've got an outstanding parking ticket, so keeps you off campus.
No doubt.
Well, this matchup, how many were at the game last year, by the way? Do you remember?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I don't know that that OSSA puts out that number, and I don't know that I ever went and looked. Honestly, it's a lot, but I don't know.
I never saw the number, but both that entire Owasso Stadium was packed. Even their end zone seats, and even during the rain.
It was a great crowd.
Yeah.
Hope to have it again.
Okay, besides being the best two teams probably in the state right now, at any level, how do you match up?
I think it's going to be a really good matchup. I just think that what the two of us do is going to be entertaining. I think that again, the Tulsa World's putting this side by side up and comparing our offensive line to their offensive line and our defensive line to their defensive line, and I think that we're better on the offensive and defensive lines. I think the skill kids is a pretty even match, but I wouldn't trade my team. I'll tell you that.
How many from last year? Because I heard you in your interview yesterday. You were talking about went on to college. How many are still playing from last year's team that you lost?
Yeah, there's three offensive linemen. Two are UCO. One's at Western Illinois. So I think it's just those three guys. Yeah.
That's got to be a kick. Huh?
It's pretty fun. Yeah, it's pretty fun, and it's fun to watch those guys and pay attention to how they're doing. Hazer at Western Illinois is traveling. He's not playing. Brandon Hardesty at UCO and Sam Smith are both at UCO, and they've traveled. I think Brandon's traveled most of the year now, but I think the plan with all of those guys is to redshirt, and they'll all get some time. Then we've got Kelby Wickline that's playing at West Virginia. He's starting for them right now. So
people know that last name.
Yeah,
obviously.
people know that guy. So there's a few of them out there.
Yeah.
Cameron Mayberry is at Colorado School of Mines, and he's had an outstanding career up there. Been an All-American running back, setting all kinds of records for him up there.
Very good. So you had a question?
I did. I think most people that are listening and care know about the big names. Who are some other people that people ought to know about that helped you guys out?
Yeah, the offensive and defensive linemen are almost always anonymous, but we're really pretty good up there. And if you move I'll go from left to right on the offensive line, and Lance Peterman at left tackle is a junior with a ton of talent. He got his first college scholarship offer a couple of weeks ago to Arkansas State. Holden Brown is the left guard. Holden started a bunch last year. He wasn't a full-time starter, but about half of the season he started and played in those games, doing a great job for us. Andrew Seeley is the center. He's a first-year starter, doing a really nice job. He's a junior as well. The right guard is a freshman, Jacoby Sanders. We pulled him up. I think it was right after week 1. We had an injury at right tackle, and we were just didn't have enough depth there. But Jacoby's come in and done a great job. That's hard to do, man, as a ninth grader. To some of the teams that we play. And then at right tackle is a senior. The only senior that we've got starting is Jake Freeney, and Jake's really come on and had a really good season. Nobody knows about those guys, but none of it really happens if they're not up there doing their jobs, and they're kind of invisible and a little bit silent, but play really, really well. On the other side, Luke McIndoe is a name that everybody knows, but he's a two-way guy for us. Trevor Benham is an outstanding defensive lineman that probably nobody knows, and Jake Diaz on the inside kind of came out of nowhere and became a starter. So, those guys are definitely kind of the unsung heroes,
You talked about freshmen in the trenches. Sometimes you see them, it seems like at a skill position just because they're so fast or whatever it is.
Right.
But to have to be at a muscle spot, that's tough, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. And we've had a few. I mean, we brought up Quantrell Walker as a freshman. He was an outstanding talent. Luke McIndoe came up as a freshman. He kind of played a tough position as a fullback, But offensive line is a tough place to play in 6A. The level of talent, size, athleticism, on a defensive line is kind of a big deal in class 6A.
When you're 6A, you've got college scouts there every game.
Yeah.
Are you used to all that?
Yeah. I mean, there's
and there'll
always
be a bunch there Friday.
There will be. There's always a few, and they try to make sure that they're seen on our sideline and stuff like that, and come by and see the coaches and want the kids to know they're there.
This is kind of off topic, but do you have to go through prep work on what you're allowed to do and what you're not?
No, not really. Not really. I mean, the
college coaches have more of that than you do.
The
probably.
burden of all of that really lies on them. So if they come to our school and want to see a kid, then it's usually pretty safe to assume it's within the rules at that time.
I know, we had Bill Annan on yesterday with the Cowgirls, and he's going to Australia to scout next week. I'm not even sure he's allowed to talk to them.
Right.
And that's you just got to know all the rules. You can't walk up to mom and dad and say hi.
Right. Yeah. No, there's a bunch of rules, and they got to they're tested on that stuff, and have to know it.
How many seniors we have?
I think we got right at 20, and it's been a really good class. I remember several years ago I was in here and we had 40 some football players, and it's been an interesting ride getting to this point, but we're in that place now where it's pretty common for us to have somewhere between 20 and 23 seniors, and we'll have 25 or 28 juniors and 30 sophomores. So it's a
nice balance, isn't it?
It's a great balance. Yeah, we're keeping a lot more kids, and we don't have that drop off from 9th to 10th grade like we had for so many years. There's a lot of those kids are staying with it.
Yeah. Again, Stillwater and Bixby Friday night 7 o'clock. It is televised. It's streamed.
It is streamed.
And I understand our own Robert Allen's doing the telecast.
Yeah, he sent me a text asking me for some info.
He does his homework, and our thoughts are with Robert. Robert lost his dad last weekend.
Yeah.
And so he's gone home for that, but. He's coming back, and he'll be calling your game, and it is streamed. You have to go online, and I'm not even sure where do you go.
Yeah, I think there's if you go to the OSSAA website, Oklahoma Secondary Schools Activity Association, and there's a link on there. It's NFHS Network is who streams it, and there is a subscription. I think it's $11 a month. I think is how that works. So if you go in and get it now, then you can actually get the 6A1 game and those other games next week, and then you could cancel it.
See, that was the advice they were giving us. Cancel that, and so I thought I heard maybe even a little less than that. I don't know. I can remember they do that in basketball when I call them down there, and we have everybody trying to talk their grandmother into how she can stream this thing when they stay back home. But once you get it, you get it. Hopefully, it works better than ESPN Plus.
I don't have any knowledge about that.
But anyway, it's not over the air. It is streamed, and Robert's doing that. So you had one more thing, I think.
No, Good luck, Coach.
Thank you.
I think good things are gonna be happening this weekend.
Yeah, congratulations. And besides good luck, congratulations on a great season.
Thank you. Thank you.
I mean, to be the buzz of Stillwater week after week after week, because we'd always talk about it on our college, because you'd look at the score and you're going, they're just dominating. Yeah. And you can see this collision course coming. And it would have been disappointing if it wasn't you two, I think.
Probably would. It probably would. But this is going to be great. They've beat us out twice in a row. 2 years in a row. So it's going to be fun. We'll be ready.
Let's do this in a couple of weeks with the championship talk.
Sounds great.
Can we do that?
Let's do it.
All right. There you go. Coach, thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Catch Tucker Barnard, and 7 o'clock on Friday night. It is streamed, but the best thing is to go on and buy yourself some tickets ahead of time. And they will be allowing other people to come in, so they may be able to get 11 or 12,000 in, something like that.
It'll be packed.
It'll be packed. So